call to order tonight's meeting of the Board of Education, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Price?
Mrs. Borchers?
Here.
Mrs. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Fox? Mrs. Packard?
Here.
Mr. Reddick?
Moving on to board committee reports. Mrs. Davis, is there anything from Hayner?
No,
Okay.
just the same things.
We did have our Upper Valley board meeting on the 27th. A couple of things that happened. The Ohio Auditor of State Award was presented to the treasurer at Upper Valley. His name was Anthony Fraley. They also, one of the real highlights of the night was the German exchange program. So Mr. Hawk and another gentleman from Upper Valley took 14 students to Germany, and they stay with the same Germany families that came here, and they came in March. We hosted them in October, and then those Upper Valley students went in March. So it was kind of nice. They talked about their experience in Germany. They got to see the people that were already here, got to visit with them, and then they take a couple of days sightseeing as well on their way back. And they do a really good job for fundraising and sponsors and partnerships to help cover that cost. Troy Foundation is a huge contributor to that trip for them. And then we will be doing evaluations for Upper Valley Superintendent and Treasurer coming up this summer. And that's it.
I texted Ben and Levi just seen that.
So next on our agenda is the notification that pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 2209.345, the Troy City School District Board of Education, we are giving notice that Michael Moore will retire under the School Teacher Employee Retirement System effective October 1st, 2025, and is seeking employment with the board thereafter in the same position. So this is Dr. Moore giving us notice that he would like to retire, rehire in the same position he currently is in today. The board will hold a public hearing on August 11th, 2025 at 5:30 at 151 West Staunton, that's the Troy High School, on the issue of this employee's re-employment. Mr. Fong, was there anyone that wanted to speak? I saw you greeting folks.
No, there was not.
Okay.
Well, he will maintain the same office, won't he? That's a key element to Dr. Moore.
Yes, yeah, same position.
I'm mostly worried about him staying in the same office.
You want to keep him close in proximity?
Absolutely.
We have no no people wishing to speak. May I have a motion for consideration of approval for the minutes of our regular meeting from Monday, May 12th, as well as our special meeting on Thursday, June 5th.
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis and Mrs. Porchers. I don't have any notes. Mrs. Porchers, Mrs. Davis. Mr. Price?
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Borchers?
Yes.
Mrs. Packard?
Yes. May I have a motion to review the financial report? This is in Exhibit C, SM2, monthly total revenue, monthly expenditures, ending balance, and additional financial reports.
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Borchers.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Mr. Price?
Highlight a couple things. The fund-to-fund transfer, you'll start seeing this as we move forward. We have decided internally the annual amount that we were spending on upkeep of the old grass Memorial Stadium and the grass Ferguson Field. The annual expenditures, just a bit over $30,000 to an outside company to maintain those two fields. And we've decided internally to continue to set that money aside for turf replacement purposes. And that's
Oh,
what
great.
It'll, this fund-to-fund transfer transfers the funds that we spent annually from the general fund to that fund that we set up for that purpose.
Can you, I mean, if it was warranted, can you cover that as, it's not capital, is it?
Yeah, it could be,
It could be,
yes.
okay.
If we were to, you're saying if we did have to replace the turf.
Yeah, and we had capital money, could we use that capital
Yes.
money as
Yeah, that
opposed
would
to
be
the
the purpose.
general fund?
And right now, the expectation is not for 10, 15, how many years are we?
10 to
Is the
15 years.
expectation.
I was part of the original install at Piqua, and technology of turf fields has changed drastically. They replaced theirs after 12 years. That was a football field. We're hoping to get a few more years out of it than that, and hopefully with soccer field, even a few more.
Because people do actually now have, the teams have.
Yes, we can separate the use
Mhm.
and all that. Soccer will be practicing on theirs quite a bit. Football, we'll wait and see. I think they'll migrate to the majority of the time
Okay.
eventually, but ideally,
Are
unless
they doing their
it's
summer stuff still
weather
out there?
related, not so much.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm not sure.
Just to keep from the wear and tear,
Right, on the football
but
field.
we'll see.
Okay.
We're not really restricting in any way,
Mhm.
just kind of let things play out.
Alright. Is there anything else?
Also, so far with fiscal year with a little less than a month remaining, we are within $114,000 of estimated bottom line for the fiscal year. Obviously, June is when we do our final cleanup and adjustments and all that, which we'll be bringing to you at our special meeting on June 30th at 8 a.m. right here.
Mrs. Davis, do you have any comments, questions?
No.
Mrs. Borchers?
I'm good.
Mr. Price?
Mrs. Borchers?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Packard?
Yes. Next, may I have a motion for legal compliance to close fiscal year 24-25. To be legally compliant, it is necessary to make certain accounting entries as we close the fiscal year, which ends on June 30th, 2025.
So moved?
Thank you, Mrs. Borchers.
Second?
Thank you, Mrs. Davis.
This is an annual resolution. It allows me to do the necessary legwork and action, and then bring it to you for your final approval on June 30th.
That's that special meeting you were just talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Please call the roll.
Mrs. Borchers?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Packard?
Yes. A motion for 2026 temporary appropriations. On February 24th, 2025, the Miami County Budget Commission approved the Troy City School District Official Certificate of Estimated Resources for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025. Total amount approved for each fund must govern the amount of appropriation from such funds. May I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
This is another annual resolution. It's asking for 50% appropriations of the current fiscal year end appropriations, which I'll be bringing to you on June 30th with all the adjustments necessary. This allows us to operate until I bring final appropriations for next fiscal year to you for your approval in September.
Thank you. And so we'll see the temporary appropriations on the June 30th?
Yeah, you'll see the final appropriations, temporary appropriations, you're approving at 50% of those numbers
Thank you,
to allow us to operate
thank you. It took
For
me,
July, August, and
okay. And the
part of
finals,
September.
okay, and
So
then we'll
we-
see the finals in
Yes,
September. Thank you.
yes.
I think I got confused. All right. Please call the roll.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Borchers,
Yes.
Mrs. Packard.
Yes. Next, may I have a motion for then and now, Ohio Revised Code 2705.41 provides that if prior certification of funds by the fiscal officer was not obtained before the contractor order involving the expenditure of money was made, then the fiscal officer may instead certify.
So moved.
Second.
Few of them this month, one with Hook, one with Hayner, one with Transportation, one with Haywood, Junior High, and 3 with Cookson.
Can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Borchers,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Packard.
Yes. Next, may I please have a motion?
This next one we will not be able to do because we do not have at least 4 board members.
Thank you.
Is Ben coming? Did he respond?
He's out of town, he's not.
Is that gonna be a problem for them?
We will have the 30th. I'll have to-
Do we need to do we table this, or does it just get moved to the meeting on
We'll
the
just move
30th?
it.
Okay.
We should, can
I'll
someone-
let David know, and with Hayner,
It's the
because they
Hayner
were
meeting.
anticipating
What about
Yeah.
being
we
done
have to
tonight,
move
and I
the
will also,
resolution to approve that
I
going
have a
out
meeting set up
until
with the
the
county
30th.
auditor to exchange paperwork,
Please let them know as well.
Let them know.
Wednesday
Let them
morning.
know as well.
I'll see him tomorrow.
So, yeah, we're gonna let the other, make sure that Ben and
Yes,
we know for sure. I mean, not that we don't need 4 members anyway, but I didn't even really think about that one.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Price. Next is the superintendent's report. May I have a motion for a resolution accepting gifts to the Troy City School District and expressing the thanks of the Troy Board of Education?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Borchers.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis.
A little lighter than most months, but still we appreciate every bit that's been contributed to our staff, students, and programs. And you see donations there ranging from $52 to $500. All those important, all those we appreciate. Our June total is $943.23, and our fiscal year-to-date total is $184,132.04.
That is quite generous over
So that'll be
over a fiscal
end of
year.
year, right? That'll be the grand total for the school year? Because we won't, right?
Yes.
Doesn't start
Those
again.
July 1st too.
I don't know. Not that compares, it seems really large.
Yeah, it's always large. Yeah.
I know,
We have
it's
a very,
just,
very generous community.
whoosh.
We are consistently reminded of
We
our
are.
community.
Yeah.
Mr. Price?
Mrs. Borchers,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Packard.
Yes. Next, may I please have a motion to approve the Troy High School cross-country trip to Loudonville, Ohio, in Exhibit E?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Thank you, Mrs. Borchers. I believe this is a trip they've taken previously, it looked
I
like.
believe so.
Every year.
I was gonna say, is this the one that they do?
We take a lot, I've lost track, but yeah, I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a few in the summer, it
Yeah.
kinda gets.
Mr. Alexander wears them out.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I think he does a really good job.
I'm pretty sure he wears them out during the season too.
He wears them out over the school day.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Price?
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Borchers,
Yes.
Mrs. Packard.
Yes. May I please have a motion to approve adjustments in school breakfast prices?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
thank you. So, is this?
Clint, I believe, talked about this in one of his updates to board that Chris sends out every Friday. A while back, I'm not sure how long ago it was. At this point, with increased food costs, he can no longer offer breakfast and cover costs with what we were charging. So he reviewed all that, and his recommendation is to increase the elementary from $1.10 to $1.75, and junior high and high school from $1.35 to $2.
I think that's what was causing me some heartburn, is it just said 65 to $1.75. And here it just says raising the price.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to pause at this,
Okay,
is I was concerned about.
okay.
And it's the first increase I can recall since I've been here.
Yes, we have
It's unfortunate that
never,
we couldn't have done one in the past to make it not such a big leap.
for my tenure, we've never touched breakfast.
I've never seen,
Um,
I've barely even seen the
I
lunch
believe
price.
lunch
increase.
price we increased right before we went to the ballot for the initial bond issue back in 2017.
It's been a long time.
Yes,
Yes, it
and
was. That
lunch
was before
prices,
me
we
then.
are okay. It's breakfast.
It's
Oh,
the
wow.
breakfast.
What's the high school breakfast right now?
$1.35.
$1.35?
It's going to $2, yes.
And then elementary is currently $1.10 and going to $1.75.
$1.75, yes.
That's $1.10.
But those on free and reduced lunches get breakfast also, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, it's free.
yep. Greenville, Northmont are all $2 K-12. Springboro is $1.75 K-12. Beaver Creek is $2.50 K-12. Centerville is $1.75 K-6 and $2.712. Piqua is completely free.
For
Because-
breakfast.
Everything.
Everything.
They are participating in that statewide initiative. Their free and reduced percentage district-wide is high enough that they can institute free
Across.
breakfast and lunch across the entire district. And Tip City does not serve breakfast.
So our prices are not wildly.
No. No,
They're average.
everybody he checked with, we're right there.
Please call the roll.
Mrs. Davis,
Yes.
Mrs. Borchers,
Yes.
Mrs. Packard.
Yes. May I please have a motion for personnel items in Exhibit F?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Dunham?
Hello, everyone. Fairly standard, still somewhat lengthy. We're still hot and heavy in the hiring season, so there are a few things that I want to point out, a few introductions that I'd like to make to you this evening. At the top, you'll see resignations, retirements. One to point out, which you had an item on the agenda, that would be for Dr. Moore, so his resignation would be contingent upon rehire. So we'll take the necessary steps with the public hearing and follow those appropriate timelines. If you scroll on down, we fairly standard the non-renewals of spring sports supplementals, and then administrative. We've got a couple of things. We're going to do the standard increase for Mr. Price, and then I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Deborah Turner. So,
Hi.
so
Welcome.
Dr.
Hi.
Turner is she'll be our new Director of Pupil Services.
Okay.
And I don't want to miss, so I've got some notes in here. So she's currently the Student Services Supervisor for Springfield City Schools. But she comes to us, she's been in that position for 6 years, but she has a wealth of experience, including Montgomery County ESC, Mason, Princeton, Middletown, and Monroe. So many years of experience, just a wide range of knowledge. She was extremely impressive during the interview process. It was a pretty extensive search that we did and process. So we met with each candidate, the first round about 45 minutes, and the second round was close to 2 hours. So we involved some additional team members the second round, including school psych, one of our building principals, and then 2 of our intervention specialists, because We realize that this position is going to touch a lot of people within our district. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Deborah Turner, give you the chance to say anything to our Board of Education.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to say thank you. So far I've received a warm welcome and I'm really excited to join your team.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, welcome,
Um,
aboard.
Mr., am I right that you're from this area? Is that
No,
what I heard? Okay.
I don't currently live here.
Uh-huh.
She's looking
Uh-huh.
We're looking
to
to.
live in this area.
Yes.
You will enjoy it. Troy is a wonderful place.
Thank you.
I need to pay her a huge compliment beyond just how impressive she was. We were kind of back and forth the end of last week, and there was an update to the personnel agenda that just went out today because we were back and forth towards the end of last week and finally connected this morning. And once we finalized everything, I invited her to the board meeting this evening,
Oh,
this
wow.
morning.
Wow.
And she has 2 boys that play baseball, and she was able to make arrangements to get them to where they needed to go. And I told her, I said, if you can't make it, I totally understand, our board will understand, but if you're able to, it'll be a nice introduction for you guys, a nice introduction for her. So just kudos to you for making that happen and being able to be here.
So where are they playing tonight?
It's practice tonight.
Okay.
Well, congratulations on surviving that interview for one. I was like, whoa, man, that brings back
It's a
memories.
long process.
It was a great process. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean,
So welcome.
Well, what brings you here? What was your interest?
So my husband is a plumber and has been thinking about going out on his own or joining somebody in business. And so he has an opportunity in Tip City to join a company. And so we had started looking in this area. And so when the position became available, I jumped on it.
Wow. Great. Well, timing is everything, right?
Yes.
Time is
That's
everything.
wonderful. It's wonderful. And I have to ask, is she the second doctor that we have in Troy?
She is. Dr. Moore will have to move over and make some room.
Well, that's great. Just nothing against Dr. Moore, but I think he needs like somebody else to.
Yeah, no, we're very excited you're here.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Welcome.
great.
And then just if you keep going down, bottom of that first page, I'd also like to introduce you to Rob Berryman. So Rob is joining us as an intervention specialist for this upcoming school year.
Fantastic.
18 years of experience that he comes to us
Wow.
with,
Welcome.
including districts like Fairlawn, Botkins, very high performing, and most recently the Midwest Regional ESC. And I must say that he had the terrible misfortune of riding the school bus many years ago with yours truly. So, so we ended up going to the same school together and made that connection when he came in for his interview. And
That's funny.
so we're excited to have him. I know Mrs. Potter wasn't able to join us, but he'll be at Cookson. The team there had the chance to meet him. Then I sat down with him, and he's going to do a great job for us. So. I'll say welcome,
Welcome
Rob.
aboard.
Welcome,
Great
Rob.
to have
Thank
you.
you.
And you can tell us Mr. Devone's stories later. So we're looking forward
We're,
to this.
we'll talk about let's review those stories before you're here. Right?
Welcome. Not when they're not
Thank you for
recorded.
joining us.
A few other highlights I'd like to point out if you flip over the page there. So again, it's a pretty exciting time. It's the fruits of our labor this spring and the hiring season. Allison Davis, excuse me, she is going to be the a new fifth grade teacher at Forest Elementary. If that name is familiar to you, she is a Troy grad, so she's coming back home. Her mom is actually Dana Davis, who's one of our school counselors.
Oh,
She's
Allie.
fantastic.
Oh, wow.
So Allie is gonna come back here, made it through a very rigorous process to land that position, highly sought after. So she was a very strong candidate in a very strong pool, and we're happy to have her.
She'll do well.
Yeah, Haley Levy is going to join us. That's a 1 year only fifth grade position at Hook. But I will tell you that our reputation is definitely out there in other districts, and so she's leaving a position in a current district in the Dayton area to come join us, even though it's only guaranteed for 1 year. And she is hoping that maybe that turns into something after that 1 year, but she knows that there's no guarantee. So we had that conversation, and I feel very lucky to have her. Talking about our search expanding and our name being out there, Wesley Librand is coming from Alabama.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
came up here. His story is extremely unique. He came up here. He went to a Reds game, a Dragons game. He found his way to Troy. He drove around. He went to the bookstore. I'm not making any of this up. He went to the bookstore. He saw the fountain. He fell in love with our community. Our position posted. He applied. And he is going to be our new social studies teacher at the high school. And that team is very excited about him joining.
That is
So,
crazy.
and when you talk to him, there's no mistaking he is from Alabama. So, but I didn't see him. He presented some lessons to the high school team, and I heard consistently that it was extremely impressive. So they're very excited to have him. And then Courtney Wright, that's just a revision to her original contract. We hired her last month, but we needed to make an adjustment on number of steps there for her. So the other piece I'd like to point out, the last thing would just be we're closing the loop on Linda Berkey. If you remember, we went through that process. So that's exciting for us, and I think she's also excited. I know the staff at Concord is very excited to keep her for a little while longer, so that will work well. But I think those are my comments for tonight. Any questions?
So exciting.
Mr. Rice?
Mrs. Borchers?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Packard?
Yes.
I don't think we have anyone to speak for the second hearing of the public.
No, I didn't
Okay.
take any. Yeah, I asked.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.